it's Eleanor here, and it's time for my weekly wrap up, my what I've read and what I'm going to read video. I'm not going to be doing a what I'm going to read portion of this video today, because if you've watched my video yesterday, you'll know I'm participating in the TBR Takedown next week, and I talked about the books that I'm going to be trying to read in that video. So all I'm going to do in this video is talk about the books that I read this week and also do my Booktuber shout out. The Booktuber that I want to shout out today is one that I think has really original and interesting videos. I really enjoy her reviews. She does 2 pros and a con, so she talks about the reviews, she gives you some good points and some bad points, and I really like how she incorporates all the information she wants to give you into her reviews. So her video is called My Name Is, and oh, I apologise, I looked back on all your videos and I can't hear you saying your name, but I think it's Marinez, but it looks like Marines. So I'm going to say my name is Marines, and you'll have a link below, but I'm really sorry to you. I wasn't 100% sure how to pronounce your name, so I apologise, but I love your channel and I definitely think that you guys should check her out. She's really interesting, she's really articulate, she reads a wide range of books, she's got a beautiful back setting on all her videos of some wonderful colourful books, which I always think are really eye-catching, and yeah, I think she's great, so I definitely think she needs some love and some more people subscribing to her, so go and check her out if you feel like it. So let's get into the books that I've read this week. This week I read 5 books. I am only going to talk about 4 of them, and the 5th one I'm going to mention, but I'm not going to talk about too much, and yeah, let's get into it. So the first book I read this week was Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. I read this as part of my RibSat read, and I really enjoyed it. Magic in this fantasy world is in some people but not everyone, and those with magic have different types of powers, including being able to control water or fire, and there is a massive dark expanse which is stopping the people of this country getting to the border, getting to the sea, obviously causing disruption in terms of trade and goods, and so the people are starving and finding it difficult to survive. But if you go through this black expanse, there are deadly sort of dragon-like creatures that kill you, and so their magic people are looking for a way to get rid of this black, dangerous area. This book is the start of the trilogy, and we follow Alina, who is an orphan. She is a sort of surveyor in the magical army. She doesn't think she's got any powers. It's discovered that she does, and the power that she has is one that might be able to save them. And it's just really an adventure story from there, and we find out about her friends, her best friend, and her life as she finds out she has these powers. There's lots and lots of twists and turns. I think I gave this one 4 stars, and I think I probably would have given it more had I not had a little bit of a spoiler in terms of it's hard to avoid watching videos on this particular book, and you know, every time a tag comes up and people are asked who their worst character is, and they're, you know, the most evil character, blah blah blah, and one of the characters in this is mentioned, and it's very difficult not to then know that there's going to be certain twists in the story. I don't want to say too much because it will just totally ruin it for other people that haven't read it. So I think not having that element of surprise really spoiled a little bit of impact for me, and so I couldn't give it any more than 4. But I'm definitely going to carry on with this trilogy and read the other 2. I have got them, but I just haven't got to it or felt like I wanted to read it just yet. The next book I read I just couldn't put off any longer, and that was Honour's Night by Rachel Back. It's the second in the Paradox trilogy after Fortune's Pawn, and I absolutely loved this again. We're following Devi. I can't tell you much about the story because obviously it's the second book in the series, but this series is all about Devi, who is has joined this ship which is renowned for getting into trouble, and she's joined it because apparently a year aboard this spaceship as like a security detail is likely to get you into like the elite force looking after the king called the Devastators, and it's just about all of the different adventures that ensue in space. It's a really great space opera, and just like the first one, I gave this one 5 stars all the way. Next up, I read Fuzzy Nation by John Scalzi, and I really liked this. I didn't like it as much as Lock-In. I only gave this one 4 stars, but it was a really fun, fast read. It reminded me a bit of a sci-fi courtroom drama, and I really like courtroom dramas. I liked how cleverly this one was plotted, and it was a really interesting concept. Basically, we're on a world where they are Earth's people have come to this world, and they go to different planets and they mine for different substances, you know, like special like diamonds and fuel and various things. But one of the legal things is that you can't be taking natural resources from a planet if it has a sentient species. And we follow Holloway, who is like one of these contractors who blows up bits of rock to survey and get these special things. He discovers the mother lode of all rock, and he's set to make a fortune, and then potentially he discovers a sentient species, and it's about how this works and what happens from there. It's really clever, really fun, and I really enjoyed it. That was a buddy read for Stephanie from Time to Read, and bless her, she forgave me for forgetting my book when we were meant to be reading it, and so we decided to read it on last week, and I read it in an evening. So again, probably not the best buddy read, but I did email her some of my thoughts, but I just read it in an evening. I was hooked. I really enjoyed it, and that is The Martian by Andy Weir. I'd heard a lot about this and how great it was, but I don't think I quite understood going into it what exactly it was about. But it's really interesting and funny. It's basically about an astronaut. He's with 6 other astronauts, and something happens to him during a sandstorm, and they think he's dead, and they leave him, and they escape and head off back to Earth from this like Mars trip, and he is left on Mars looking at how to survive and how to let people know that he is alive. And obviously journeys to Mars take a long time, you know, years. So, you know, can he survive for like 4 years before someone manages to get back to him? And it's just really interesting, really fun, really adventure story, but with like some really interesting things. You know, what would you do? What would be your prime objective if you were stranded on a planet? Would it be food, on how to feed yourself, and how much food have you got, and if you ration it, how long is it going to last you, and how long do you need, and so how are you going to make sure that you've got enough? And it's just really clever and really fun, and he's a really interesting character, and it's written out in sort of his daily logs. So you've got sections of his log, you've got sections from sort of Earth, from the NASA type space station, and the people trying to work out what's going on. You've got various different emails. You've got loads of different types of writing styles here, but it really works, and it really keeps the pace going, and it was a really good book, and I gave it 4 stars. And then the final book I read this week was The Dead House by Dawn Kurtagich. I've mentioned Dawn before. She's got a booktube channel called Writaholic DK. She's also an author, and she very kindly sent me an arc of her new book, which is coming out on the 6th of August. I'm not going to say anything about this book at all. I'm not going to tell you what I thought of it. I'm not going to tell you my rating, because I am going to be doing a very special video next week, hopefully, and you will see that one, and it'll be a review video but with a twist, and I hope that you're interested in watching that video, because I think it'll be fun. So, but I did read this week, so this was the final book that I read. So that was my weekly wrap up. As I say, go and watch the video from yesterday about TBRTakedown TBR if you want to find out what I'm going to be reading next week. And definitely go and check out Marines or Marines. Sorry again. I find this so embarrassing, and I'm really sorry. I wish I wasn't so rubbish. But definitely check out her channel. It's linked down below. And if you're watching this, please tell me how to say your name, and I'm so sorry. And yeah, but check her out. She's got great videos, great content, and she's really interesting, and I think you'll like her. So that's it from me. From my parents' house. I'm at my parents' house today, so you might notice a different backdrop. And I will speak to you soon. Bye for now, Booktube.